Today's installment for Black History Month, we have. Actually, let me go back. We've discussed Frederick Douglass. No, not Frederick Douglass. I apologize. We've discussed Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, and um, Booker T. Washington, also along with the Harlem Renaissance. Today we'll be discussing Charles Johnson. Well, Charles Johnson wasn't an artist himself. He was a psychologist who had made a name for himself in Chicago for his groundbreaking work on racism. In 1923, he left a promising career as a scholar to come to Harlem not simply to study but to put into practice his ideas about combating racism, ideas that were considered radical at the time. Johnson had become convinced that blacks and whites would someday live in equality. He had a visionary idea that he had a visionary idea that whites would accept and appreciate blacks simply by hanging out with them in the same places, sharing ideas, meals, and work. Johnson dedicated himself tirelessly to this mission by promoting and publishing black artists during the Renaissance and afterward. According to Langston Hughes, someone that we will discuss later on, Johnson did more to encourage and develop Negro writers during the 1920s than anyone else in America. The initial mission, well, he was the founder and editor of the National Urban League's Opportunity, a journal of Negro life. He wanted to depict Negro life as it is with no exaggerations. That included the cultural side of Negro life that has been long neglected. He knew that people would need to see the souls of African Americans in order to understand them, and that could only be done through the arts. His mission for the journal and himself was to make public the exciting poems, stories, essays, photographs, and artwork of African Americans who explored authentic black cultural life. That was Charles Johnson's mission. That's where we get the Langston Hughes, the Wallace Thurmans, the Jesse Facets, the County Cullens, the let's see, we also have plenty of others. Claude McKay, Gene Toomer. I already said Langston Hughes, but Georgia Johnson, Montgomery Gregory, Willis Richardson, J.A. Rogers, Alan Locke, Albert C. Barnes, along with many others that we will discuss. We also have Kelly Miller, James Walden Johnson, Paul U. Kellogg, Walter White, and even W.E.B. Du Bois. That was who we just discussed. I will say it again. His name is Charles Spurgeon Johnson, born 1893, died 1956.